Bryce and I have been friends for, I think, 14 or 15 years. I first met him long before we started the band. We were childhood friends. He was a singer in a local band. I was a singer in another local band. We played shows together and that's how we met. I think you were 16?
Yeah, something like that. Just hanging out at Cranbourne Hall for freezer gigs and stuff like that. So my inspirations musically range very extremely. First, my dad was probably my biggest musical influence. He got me into actually playing instruments. The early childhood bands that we loved, like My Chemical Romance, Funeral for a Friend, moving all through the years. But if I think about who is currently influencing me, I'd be putting it down to Frank Turner, somewhere in that realm.
Smithies.
And Smith Street Band.
For me, growing up, my musical inspirations stem from a really young age. I remember the first record I got, I was 3 or 4 years old, and it was And Justice for All by Metallica. So I started out my journey at the heavier end of the spectrum. And then I really got into hardcore myself as a younger kid because it was filled with all these positive influences from a lyrical perspective. I was going through a lot of really difficult stuff, and I found meaning and purpose in the positive messages of that music. And then now, these days, we're still doing essentially the same thing in terms of the messages we're conveying with our music. But
folk punk.
Yeah, we're playing it in a more chilled out, folky way. For me, the name Catholic Guilt represents a large element of the psychology that goes into and the emotion that goes into the songwriting at the same time as being representative of my upbringing and the social construct that shaped me as a person. So essentially, the concept of Catholic guilt is an overriding sense of guilt, of sin, of being born of uncleanliness, if you like. That was entrenched in me as a youngster growing up as a Catholic. I found the light of logic, so to speak. But I still carry around those notions that no matter how many good things and good energies and positive energies I put into the world, it's still not enough to justify my existence on the planet because I'm not the perfect human.
You're never good enough anymore. The name itself doesn't actually relate directly to what the band means or it is just a name at the end of the day. It's a theme more than anything. We've kind of very much stuck to the theme.
Yeah, it does lend itself to really easy and very striking imagery.
I write majority of the music itself, and Brenton will write majority of the lyrics.
And the melodies.
And the melodies behind the vocal melodies. But then we'll always come together and work that out. Like, it's never set in stone. If I've written something that's terrible and he was thinking, no, it needs to step like this or the structure needs to be like this, it always comes together like that. There's no rules.
We mostly play to our strengths. We write honest music.
Yeah.
That's what we do. We write honest music that's the product of two people's innermost thoughts and experiences and desires and wants and ambitions.
At the moment, Catholic Guilt is very, very young, but we've got plenty of material. We have no delusion of grandeur. We have no, goal to, be a worldwide touring band. If it happens, awesome. But really, we just love playing music. We love playing live. And we love playing together, so...
I don't see a future where this isn't part of my life. There's been times where I haven't been writing music, and I've just felt like I am not the same person. This is a core construct of my being that I ignored for 4 or 5 years, and it's so good to have it back. In terms of what we have going forward for this act, it can be whatever we want it to be, essentially. Yeah, and that's awesome.